I'm the sales and marketing director at Coming Soon Homes. I've gotten the blessing and opportunity to work with some amazing agents, broker owners, and teams across the country, thanks to our amazing Coming Soon Homes program. Tyler, my dude on my left in that picture and waving in the left corner, he is amazing part of our team. He has production experience, video guru to the top notch. He works with some phenomenal clients of ours across the country as well, developing content for them. So we're going to share a ton of tidbits with you today. And then last but not least is my beautiful, amazing Kate Stefano. So she is in the middle there on the right side of that picture. Kate's going to be our moderator today. So if you see Kate jotting away in that chat box and sending you polls and stuff, just stay tuned with Kate. That who Kate is. So we're going to continue rolling forward. So throughout this session, guys, just keep in mind this will be a replay. So you will get that email after the fact and with the slides and everything on top of it. So don't worry about that. Keep commenting in the chat with us if you guys have questions, and we'll make sure to answer them along the way or at the end of the Q&A as well. So just to give you a heads up on what we're going to be covering today is first, we're going to talk about 5 questions critical to your brand. We're then going to dig into 8 specific ways that real estate marketing has changed or evolved over time. We're going to dig into a few options on the best ways you can manage your marketing. Every agent, every structure is different. What's going on, Dave and Mary Ellen from Massachusetts? And we're also going to talk about whether you should in-house your marketing or outsource your marketing. I talked to a lot of agents that are just unsure of what the right decision is for them, for their business, for their budget, for their vendors. And so we're going to cover all that good stuff today in today's session. So to start it off real quick, real estate really used to be about the bigger brand. I actually did a little bit of research and found out that 1855 was actually when the first real estate brokerage was established. So back in 1855 is when it all began. And then it started developing. And then guess what? The internet hit. And then everything changed again. And then social media hit. And then everything changed again. And then COVID-19 hit. And then everything changed again. And so it's really, really interesting to dig in and see how marketing within real estate industry specifically has evolved over time. And what's really crazy is I really think back in the 80s, the 90s, maybe even the early 2000s, a lot of brands out there like Re-Max, Better Homes and Gardens, Century 21, all those big brands, I really believe it was more about their brand, showcasing the Re-Max balloon, the KW logo. It truthfully was more about the bigger brand, where now I think everything is kind of spinning into local value, homegrown, farm-to-table restaurants, you know, the local sponsorships, everything is really pulled into that local boutique service. People don't want to feel like a number anymore. And they really want to feel like they are part of your business and really getting the full experience of paying you a hefty, nice little commission to sell or help them find the home that they need. So real estate has really, really changed over time. And it's interesting because I think Tyler and I talk to agents every single day. And a lot of these agents are all in different stages, and there's nothing wrong with that. We work with top agents that sell 500 plus homes a year, and then we work with independent agents that sell 5 to 10 in a year or 30 in a year, or, you know, it all just depends. So every agent, I think, is in a different place in their business, in their life, and in their goal setting. So no matter where you are, whether you have a logo, you have a color palette, or you don't, you have no idea where to even begin with building your own brand, there's 5 critical questions I want you to just think about. And even if you already have a rock star brand, you're killing it online already, you don't need us, it's all good. But these are still questions I think that are relevant to you building the best brand possible that's going to really make waves online. And sometimes some of you might even need a brand refresh. Maybe you've been in the industry for 25 years. You ain't changed that logo or that website in 30 years. And you're like, you know what? This is the perfect time to dig deep, refresh my business, re-energize my agents and my team, and really do things at a higher level. And we're going to cover those today. So 5 of these questions, I want to start off with, what are my strengths? And it sounds silly, but Tyler, what are some of your strengths?
Webinars. Recently, I'm joking, but I'm actually being serious. This whole COVID-19 thing has, I mean, I spend so much time per week on webinars, and I think people are starting to see how important that is. Beyond that, though, video, as you mentioned, a huge strength of mine. And kind of going off of that, it's also important to identify your weaknesses too. Because you know there's things that I am not good at.
Yep.
at all.
Yep.
But it's all about using those strengths to get better at your weaknesses.
I love that. And I think it's really true. Even for me, I've helped build this amazing Coming Soon Homes team, including Tyler, including Kate. And I've never, ever come from the place of management of, I need to hire people that are less than me. I need to hire people that are better than me. People know in different things that I suck at. And that's exactly why I have Tyler. That's exactly why I have Kate. I've positioned them in specific roles that have absolutely just killed it. So really developing your strengths and your weaknesses is really, really important, number one. So the second one is, what situation brings out the best in you? I mean, is it like when your buyer walks into the home of their dreams and they're like, this is it? Like, is that the moment for you that you're just like, your whole life is made and you're like, this is why I do my job? You really have to think about what situation you're put in every day in your business that brings out that best moment in you. What is it? And maybe, again, back to what Tyler said, what are the situations that bring out the worst in you? I think that's also a very relevant question. Third thing is, what/who inspires you and what strikes creativity in you? So we all have our followers. I absolutely am obsessed with Amy Wienans out of Iowa. Anybody that knows me, I'm bowing down to her marketing. If you haven't followed her, go check her out. But it's really crazy because I think every agent probably aspires to be someone or really relates to someone or even is just attracted to specific ways that they do their business differently, right? And so think about those people and what you can do to help become that person. It's possible. You just got to pave the path. And then second to last is, what do your clients appreciate in you the most? Like when people are leaving you Zillow reviews and Google reviews and Facebook reviews, what are they saying on those reviews? Are they saying that, oh my gosh, Sally Joe is super honest. She just did everything possible to make sure that this transaction closed. She bent over backwards, to bring me a mask and gloves and sanitizer. She ran to 12 different stores to find sanitizer and toilet paper. It's like that is the kind of detail that I think really will make a buyer or seller pivot and work with you instead of, Joe Schmo down the road who just put a little, packet at their door. And then last but not least is, what is the most rewarding part about being in real estate? And don't you dare give me the answer, oh, well, it's because I love helping families buy and sell real estate. Of course, that's the answer. But you need to have a deeper answer, a deeper why, something that really makes a difference. And I've got like a stack of books to the left of me. So for those of you readers out there, I'm going to do a couple shout outs. I am not sponsored by any of these folks, by the way. I just really love these books. So for those of you that are with KW or not KW, I don't care what brand you're with. I think you can always get interesting ideas, concepts, and learn from agents no matter what brand they're in. So don't not listen to agents that are on the top of their game because of what brand they're on. But this book is amazing. It's actually by Gary Keller of Keller Williams. It's called The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results. Amazing, amazing book. So if you got to check it out, check it out. Gary Keller is a genius in so many different ways. So go check that out. But really come back to thinking why you're in this business. So many agents, I don't think, have really thought about that. If you've been in the industry for 25, 30 years, I guarantee you haven't sat down for a few minutes because you're too busy turning and burning deals still, right? So take a minute and really think, especially during all this COVID-19 stuff. I think this is actually showing us a great way to slow down. Take a minute. So many agents we've talked to, they're realizing, oh my gosh, this is the perfect time for me to reinvent my business and reinvent my marketing. And so digging straight into how marketing has changed over time, I am obsessed with this quote by Oprah Winfrey: evolve into the complete person that you were intended to be. Everybody knows who they envision themselves to be in the future. And if you don't, just take a minute and I guarantee you'll figure it out. But you have to put together a plan of action, and you actually have to take even baby steps at a time to reach that goal or those goals that you have for yourself. So digging into how everything has evolved. Real estate's evolved. Blockbuster obviously has evolved by Netflix. Every industry is evolving, I think, daily, including our own and in marketing. So First off, I think all marketing started back in, what was that date? 1855, of word of mouth. Sally Joe sold a house very, very quickly, and their brother's mother needed to buy a home. And so they sent that referral down the line. And that's how business used to be done. And some of you, I mean, God bless you, you really base all of your business on that, which is amazing. If you have that kind of trust that you've built with your customers and you have clients coming back to you because Sally Joe said that she sold your house, for you quickly 3 years ago, you have an amazing, amazing opportunity in front of you. Now, what you're doing to help massage those people and continue to remind them to come back to you if they need to buy or sell, that's another thing. But word of mouth is where it all began. And then it really started pivoting into doing online reviews and video testimonials. And Tyler, have you talked with agents that are just so focused on getting these online reviews and stuff now?
Yeah, it really is. Like, as bad as you hate to say it, just think about when you go to a new restaurant. What's the first thing that you do? Yelp, TripAdvisor, Google reviews. It's like one of the first things that you think about. And as word of mouth is still extremely important. I mean, you can think about any facet of life. How more often do you go to a restaurant because a friend has recommended it to you?
True.
Still something about that familiarity that's extremely important. So like, we're not saying word of mouth is dead or it's gone. It's extremely important, but being able to capitalize on that and bring it to even more people is even more important.
And there's so many different sites. Honestly, I think I wrote it down, actually. I think there's 5 main sites that you really need to focus your real estate reviews on. Zillow, of course. Google is absolutely critical. I really believe agents should start putting less of their reviews on Zillow and start pivoting to Google, because that is the search function. That is where everyone and their mother's brother and sister and cousin and sister's cousin is going to type in that information of what they're searching for. So you need to make sure that your business shows up top.
People really, really underestimate Google business. I mean,
big time.
It's important when you have Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever on your phone. When you type that into a GPS, your Google reviews are those stars that you see on there. It's extremely important to be cognizant of how impactful your Google business page is.
And Google also has started automatically integrating your reviews from Facebook. So if you pull up your business page on Google, it's going to show you, okay, this person has 12 reviews on Facebook, 5 reviews on blah, blah, blah. So it's starting to integrate other review channels into Google as well. So it shows you how pivotal or how critical, of a place that is to ensure you're putting those reviews. And then one that I think a lot of people don't think about is Yelp. And Yelp, I think, is one of the, I don't know if it still is, but I know recently it was one of the highest visited websites in the United States. So if your information isn't being consistently updated on Yelp, or you don't even have a Yelp page, you need to get that going, because the more places you can spread your business online, the better your online traffic and footprint is going to be. Now, Tyler and I have done a lot of video testimonials for agents. They have a seller that loved their experience with them, and they shoot a video and we get it out across social media. But what about if you have a shy seller? That seller's like, they had a great experience, but A, they don't want to be on camera, and B, they're a little, nervous or shy. And so what's a good option, Tyler, for those kinds of shy sellers?
So there's 2. There's one that's a little bit more impactful and one that's a little easier. And really, it's going to depend on your seller. Number 1, just get them to write you an email. You take that email, put it on a graphic on social media. Number 2, and the one that I would recommend if they're up for it, get them to get on their iPhone, hit the voice recorder, and just record an audio testimonial. We can take that, overlay a video on top of it, and put it out.
Yep, it's that easy. I mean, so no matter how comfortable or confident or, that seller is, there is always a way to capture that positive experience that they just had with you and your business and spill it out across numerous different platforms, not even just including social media. So next up is standard yard signs. This is pretty shocking to me, actually, because a lot of agents have not pivoted their signage into using text and call writers. We locally in the Raleigh area use a great company called ProQuest. And what the coolest thing is that if buyers are jumping in their vehicles and driving by properties physically and taking the time to do that, more than likely you have a higher chance of that buyer being a very interested hot buyer. And so right. And so if they don't have the time, if the property is coming soon, or they can't get access to it yet, or they have to wait for an agent to come open the lockbox, how are you not missing that critical information? And so a smart way to do that is partner with a company like ProQuest, where basically they assign a little text to call code that you put on the bottom of your signs. And when people drive by, they can text a little code to that number. And a lot of these companies like ProQuest have options on what you want to deliver to that buyer once they request more information. A lot of these companies have an automated system where you can pre-record information about the listing so they can sit there and listen to it. Other systems like ProQuest, which we love, actually has an option where you can shoot them back a link wherever you want. And for Marty Hampton Real Estate Team, she actually sends back a link to their coming soon site, for example, if it's a coming soon listing. So buyers that are physically driving by are immediately getting pinged information based on what they need, and the agent is capturing that buyer's information. So you're actually going to be turning and burning more buyers just by innovating your signs. And that sounds really, really simple, and it is. And the solutions are out there. ProQuest is just one of them that we've personally used. Is anybody else out there using text-to-call writers on their signs? If so, drop it in the chat for me. I'd be curious to know what companies you guys are using, what companies you love, what companies you hate. And then I'd love to know. Connie, I don't know where to start. Yeah, I feel ya. But those call to text writers are awesome. So if you are looking for a provider, I'm not sure if they're in your market, but at least check out ProQuest Technologies. They're a great service that we've been using in the Raleigh, North Carolina market for a long time. Next up is postcards and mailers. Disclaimer, keep doing them if they're working for you. Physical mailers do work still, especially in specific areas and targeted campaigns. It's still a very, very powerful way to market your business. However, there's a way to pivot it. So if you're looking for an innovative way to do it, there's a great way to use digital flyers and email marketing. So Tyler, let's first talk about digital flyers. I think it's really cool because a lot of the content we even build for our clients is video based now, right?
A whole lot of it.
Yep. And so how cool would it be if you can send a flyer in an email or on social media that people can actually click on and engage with, watch a video in it, have a video inside of the flyer so it looks more techy and innovative. So especially those high-end listings, you got to start thinking outside the box on how to make these listings look like rock stars, because 1.5 million in Raleigh is going to be mighty hard to sell. So, you got to do a little extra. And honestly, for listings like that, you got to do a lot extra to really get the full worth of value of having that kind of a listing. So anything else on digital flyers that you have to add, Tyler?
Not really. I think focusing on the video aspect is extremely important. And it's not like we're saying every single house from $0 to $2 million has to have a 4K video walkthrough where you're on there and all mic'd up and everything. It's good to kind of have a graduated system of expenses of what you want to do for higher end properties, mid-range and lower end properties. It also depends on your market as well. I know from what I see with several of my clients, sometimes pictures outperform video depending on the property.
Yep.
It really is about finding what works for your market. Everything that we say is completely subjective based on your market.
Yep.
It's about being able to find someone who can look at those analytics and be like, that works, that doesn't work. Why did we spend $8 million on a $500 listing? Stuff like that. It's all about getting the right processes in place.
Yeah. Brandy, that's a great question. Who are you using for creating digital flyers with video? Ourselves. We do that. So we help agents all across the country build these kinds of flyers and listing presentations and social media content, blogs, you name it. We probably do it or have our hands on it. So Brandy, we'd love to get in touch with you to chat a little bit further about that, or at least even show you. If you don't have the budget to help spend, we'd be more than happy to show you some options and resources on how to do those.
Connie has a really good question that I think we're going to get into in a couple of slides, or at least I can get into that. What if you are trying to break into new territory?
I love that. That is such a good point. I actually talked to an agent a couple weeks ago who is in the Virginia area and she's moving down to Florida. And she's like, I just don't know. Where do I start? She's like, I have to integrate my brand that was built in Virginia and suck it down to Florida. And it might actually be different down there. I mean, you really have to consider what your focus, what your niche is. I mean, there's so many things that need to come into that. But Connie, we are going to dig into that here shortly. So that is a fabulous, fabulous question. But first, ironing out your brand is critical, number one. And I'm going to be completely upfront with you guys today, is that it is even more critical to have your foundation built. I'm going to dig into this more today, but your foundation, meaning you need to have a website, you need to be on Google Business, you need to be on the main 5 social medias, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. That is where your focus needs to be. Once all that stuff's built out, then you can start adding layer after layer and start a podcast and start a vlog and do blogging. You can start all of that. However, I would never ask any of you to start putting any money into any advertising until your foundation is set. And if you're out there, you're like, that's me, I don't know where to start. My foundation is a little rocky right now. You know, there's a crack in my foundation. I'm not sure how to fill it. We can help you do that. We work with agents all the time, and they're like, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't have a LinkedIn business page. I only have a personal page, or I have a YouTube channel, but I don't even know how to access it. And so, you know, we can help narrow all of that, clean everything up. But just as a disclaimer, we really want to ensure that your foundation is set before we start doing all the fun and cool stuff, because if we start driving people to a website that's not functional, guess what? You're spending money on something that's not going to be benefiting you physically and seeing that return on that ROI. So building your foundation is critical, and everything we're covering today is kind of supplemental stuff on top of that. But maybe we'll do a webinar on building your foundation. We'll think about that. Next up is email marketing. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but if you have databases, so if you're using a CRM system, which I'm also going to talk about today, you want to make sure that all your information is flowing in, because a lot of people never touch their databases. They never send them just a quick, hey guys, just wanted to see if there's anything I can do for you. Can you imagine what that one sentence would do if you send that to your database? No sales tactic, no, are you thinking of buying or selling? None of that. Just say, hey, this is Sally Joe with Remax. I just wanted to reach out. I know everyone is struggling through this difficult time. Is there anything I can do for you? Try that. If any of you on this webinar try that and send an email like that to your database, hook up with me and let me know how that goes, because I can guarantee that you're going to get really, really positive responses from it. So it's the little things. You don't have to do these huge, elaborate mailers or things like that. Sometimes it's simplicity that really, really, really works. So email marketing is a great asset to do on top of that. Next but not least is billboards and benches. For those of you out there that have your beautiful faces plastered across all these amazing areas, it still works. I'm telling you, it still works. I look at billboards when I'm still driving there on the road, because I don't look at my phone. But you know, there are other avenues that I think might be a little smarter sometimes to deploy your advertising and marketing budget. So if you think about it, go ahead.
That's based on location as well. I don't know how many people here are familiar with the Raleigh area, but if you've ever been here and you drive on the highways, there are no billboards.
Yeah.
2 major highways here, not a single billboard. There's a restriction on them. I think there's maybe like 4 billboards within like a 15-minute radius around me.
Yeah.
Nothing on the highways.
Yep.
They have very strict building codes.
And Tyler's right. Location really does matter. I mean, we've seen some amazing campaigns inside of airports, but not every agent should do that. Really, an agent, if you're focusing on relocation, you work with big wig companies around town that have a lot of people being employed and pulling in from out of town areas, that might be a really smart place for you to market. Right, just not right now. Yeah, wait for a little while until you start running those budgets on airports. But I mean, the options are endless to get your physical marketing out in public areas. However, using targeted advertising is a very smart, strategic way to use your funds, specifically because you have hundreds of thousands of people driving past your billboard every day, but not a majority of those people might be buyers or sellers yet. And so that might be great brand exposure and recognition to consistently show your name out there, which is great. However, if you want lead gen, you want physical data off of buyers or sellers looking in the market that you're looking to help them with, targeted advertising campaigns is going to be huge. And Tyler and I get this question, I don't even know how many times, because so many agents, I think that targeted ad campaigns are totally out of their budget. They totally can't afford it. And that's totally not the case. So, I mean, we've run campaigns for $10 and campaigns for $1,000, $1,500. It really just depends on what the campaign is, what your target is, what your market is. I mean, everything depends on it, but at least the only money you're spending on a targeted ad campaign is going to the people that are potentially in the market to do what you're selling.
Exactly.
You're not spending money showing your ad to people that aren't interested at all, right? And so I think it's a little bit of a smarter way to use your advertising funds, as long as you're doing the right ad campaigns. And there's two parts to ads. There's the visual and then there's the text, right? And so you need to make sure, whether it's us or you do them on your own or you work with a different company or you have somebody in-house, just make sure that both pieces of that advertising is awesome. Because if one's lackluster or the other's lackluster or both are lackluster, you're not going to get great results.
Exactly.
Anything else on that, Tyler?
I think you pretty much hit it on that. Targeted ads are, with real estate, it's a special ad category, so you don't have the ability to target as many things.
Yep.
But it really just depends on your ad platform with that.
And because Facebook has had so many changes to their ad targeting, you can't really target people a whole lot anymore for real estate. It's actually gotten much harder and a little bit more expensive to run ads on Facebook because they've sucked a lot of the targeting components off, which I get. However, you also need to align yourself or watch YouTube videos or hire somebody like our team, whatever your solution is. But you also need to be aware of the other platforms out there that do targeted advertising, like LinkedIn. For those of you that do high-end listings, exclusive properties, you're a relocator, you work with a lot of buyers, LinkedIn is going to be your new jam. That's where all the professionals go. And so if you're not doing targeted ad campaigns on LinkedIn, you're missing out. But at minimum, you should be posting organically to LinkedIn and using associated hashtags on LinkedIn that will help pull you in the search rankings. It sounds crazy, y'all, but there is a method to the madness, and every channel kind of has its own method to the madness. So you need to make sure you align yourself with team members that understand each channel and understand how to really customize the text, the advertising, everything per channel individually.
Yeah, you can't just make one single video with one bunch of text and put it on everything. Has to be customized. That's extremely important, and that's the point that a lot of people miss.
Yep, big time. Big time, big time. So having someone on your side that you can run ideas past, you know, I know some of you wake up in the middle of your night and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best idea ever. I need to put this into implementation. And guess what? It never happens.
So many times.
Right. I mean, and it never happens. And it's so sad because so many agents have really, really cool, creative ideas, but they never take the step out to actually make it happen. And guess what? If you got an idea, talk to us about it. And we're going to try to help you figure out how to push that idea out and implement it, because we love doing new things. We love trial. We love testing, which actually leads me into this slide, which is radio and TV advertising. Now, I know a lot of agents out there cannot even potentially consider doing this because it's expensive. We know some agents that can spend anywhere between $5,000 a month to $50,000 a month on TV and radio advertising. So it's a great platform. It still is great brand recognition because people are consistently seeing you time after time. However, a lot of these big companies like Open Door, the iBuyer companies, they're spending millions of dollars to help capitalize on this traffic on radio and TV. So no offense, most agents, even I know, don't have $1 million+ to spend just alone on that. And so you really have to kind of niche it a little bit. We have some incredible tools that we've been playing with that can actually get targeted video ad campaigns on all the apps that people are using, you know, Hulu, on all your streaming channels, all the, you know, your major news channels. We have tools that can get it at a much cheaper cost. I think actually the minimum to run a video on one of these channels is $35.
Yep.
$35 minimum ad spend. Now, I'm not saying just spend 35 because it might get you some results, but you want more results. But that's how low the ad cost is to get your content, to get you and your business showcased on Hulu and your local TV station and, you know, iHeartRadio. So if you're really looking at focusing with millennials, which everybody, to be honest, should be, because that's going to be a majority of the marketplace if it's not already, you need to start innovating your business and putting it out uniquely money on stuff that a lot of agents aren't doing yet. And I'm sharing something huge because this is something that even some of our clients aren't using yet, but we really want to start pushing because this could be a game changer to innovate. And everybody knows that earlier you get into something that everybody is starting to use, the better off long-term your business is going to be. So imagine if you would have invested in, I don't know, Apple early on or Netflix early on, you would be set for life. Your grandchildren would be set for life. So the earlier you can innovate your processes, the better for you and your business. Anything else on this, Tyler?
So back when you were mentioning you can see yourself on different channels, we're not talking about like turn on the TV like through cable. We're talking about something like this.
Yep.
Streaming box. These things right here, Apple TV, Roku. This is an NVIDIA Shield. So let's say case study. Someone downloads the HGTV app. They've been watching Chip and Joanna all day, and they're working houses. Whatever they do. I don't even know if that's the right names. And then they go, man, I really wish I could have a house like that. And then boom, cut to commercial. Your face comes up there. A house that you're selling comes up there, and they go, I want it right now. Yeah. Like I know that sounds silly, but the coolest thing. Okay, Deb, trivia question for you.
Yeah.
When you put an ad on conventional radio and TV, so you go on your FM tuner, you adjust your antennas and get the TV and everything. Can you see any analytics for that for the most part?
Typically, no. I mean, definitely not.
On these, you can see IP addresses. You can see where they are. You can even see, this is the coolest thing, you can see what website they were on when they saw your ad and then retarget to those. And it's incredible.
It's huge. I mean, imagine instead of running, spending 15 grand on a radio spot that runs 2 times a day in the shittiest times of the day that nobody's listening to radio anyways, you really have to think about it because you could be running a targeted ad campaign at the specific times that you want, in the specific locations that you want, targeting specific people. And just like Tyler said, you're walking away with IP addresses. So what he's explaining is we can run a retargeting campaign behind that. And specifically, we would probably shoot a video with you and say, okay, record a video talking just solely to people who just engaged with that spot. And then they're getting a custom tailored video and they're like, oh my God, she's talking to me. She's coming out of the TV. That's the kind of cool experience when you get people to really feel that emotion. I mean, they're going to call you up and your phones are going to be ringing. Your social media inboxes are going to be on fire. Your email is going to be like ding, 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 ding. That is the kind of exposure that you need. So a team like ours can help you with that, or we can help show you how to do that if you don't have the budget. Yeah.
And I'm interested to see in the chat, if you don't mind, I want to know kind of an age range of people in here. Because I know I'm a millennial. Yeah. I don't listen to the radio. I don't watch TV through a cable box. I'm one of those young whippersnappers who doesn't do that.
Cut your cable. Yes.
Exactly. This is what I use. This is where I'm going to see ads. Yep. And even if you're not a millennial, I mean, my parents didn't want smartphones. They had a BlackBerry until I don't even want to tell you. They're on these all the time now. They FaceTime me. I mean, it's crazy. My grandma, who is in her mid-80s, loves her smartphone.
Love that.
Still listens to radio, still watches TV. Guess what she does more? This right here.
And it's a slow progression, but that is the way of the future. It really, really is. I mean, actually, funny story, side note, before I digress, I'm a big Roku user. I mean, I cut my cable bill. I pay way less. And we just brought them down here to Florida to my boyfriend's grandmother. And she has 3 in her house now. And we're cutting her cable bill by $150 about, so it's a really cool way. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So Bethany, 35 and also no radio and no cable. Whoop, whoop. Yep, that's awesome.
I got this. I don't have room for a cable box. I don't have enough freaking outlets on my wall for a cable box. Take the Spectrum app on here. I mean, come on.
It's true. I mean, it really is the way of the future. And kind of getting back to where we were before. What's going on, Joe? Got it. You're definitely not a millennial, but that's okay too. Y'all, you have to start somewhere. And just like Tyler was saying, his grandma, loves her smartphone now. My mom, who is 75, 76, dare I say, hi mom, she is addicted to her smartphone. I mean, she's on that thing more than I am. She knows certain apps that I've never even heard of, and I'm a millennial. So it is the way of the future. And there's great ways to use cable and TV and radio still. So again, we're not condoning not to do it, but it does take a really pretty hefty ad spend to make it worth your while. And you're not getting the data that you can really utilize on the back end to send a retargeting campaign and actually understand who actually connected with that ad. So something back to the next tip is expos and larger events. So I know so many agents, a lot of them still do it. They'll do bridal shows and big expo events for real estate and that kind of thing. But honestly, some of those can get really expensive too. I mean, $3,000 just for a booth or $5,000 for a booth. And sometimes you'll get great results. I've seen bridal shows that kill it. But there's also other avenues that you can use in case you don't want to take that method. And a lot of things have pivoted into doing local sponsoring. So if you're a mom or a dad and your kid's in soccer, like, you best bet that every other parent on my kid's soccer team knows that I'm an agent. And that way, I mean, it's that much easier for you to close the transaction with them because they know you. They're like, oh, my kid goes to school with them. It's like, it's already a done deal pretty much. Like, screw Joe Schmo down the road. Like, he ain't even got a chance. My kid goes to school with their kid. Good luck. So, having that local sponsoring is huge. Your daughter's Girl Scout troop, your Little League team, getting out local is huge. If your smaller towns or provinces have little events like, I don't even know, like, I think we have like a fall festival in Clayton that's really, really popular, sponsor those local events. And I'm telling you, other small businesses will come up to you and be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then you're developing an even bigger rapport with local businesses around town.
One big caveat, everything that Deborah just said right there. Take notes on all of it, because none of that matters right now. Stay inside. Don't go to a freaking Little League game. If you are, you got more problems.
And please don't bring your kids to a Little League game.
So that stuff is extremely important, just not right now.
Just not yet. What stuff starts opening up after COVID-19? This will be a replay too. So in case you're watching this months down the road, hopefully we'll be in the clear with all this. But the power of being local, and I think promoting your business as local versus like this huge conglomerate business, I think sometimes it makes your business not as approachable if you take that route versus if you take the local route, people are like, wow, they're a human, I can understand who they are.
My favorite phrase in the world. Everyone gets so sick of me saying it. People love a personality. Put your face on things. Talk. Get on video. People. I've noticed this. I'm only 27. I'm a baby. But my short life so far, like, I have had so many friends who just say, I just like watching people do something they're passionate about. Yeah. Whether they're going to a concert and seeing your favorite musician, whether it's, you are visiting your friend and they're at work and you get to see them work. Like, that's so much fun to see people do things that they're passionate about.
Mm-hmm. And that's when you just really know that they're doing what they should be doing. You're like, wow, like, this was meant for them. And that's what everybody that you work with when buying or selling real estate should say about you. Like, wow, what an incredible job. They went the extra mile for me, even though they already have 15 other listings, they treat everyone individually. And I think that's really important, especially in your marketing. I mean, if you're a big listing agent and you have one template for all of your real estate listings and they all look the same, but it's a different property, it's time to change things up. Connie, you're an infant. Next shirt for the webinar, Tyler, I'm an infant.
What you were saying, this kind of ties back. I love it when things do this, when things tie back to kind of like this nice circle of life. We were talking about word of mouth marketing, and you were talking about the same template. Can you imagine someone puts their $1 million house and they get on their friend, can you believe this jank marketing template that my $1.5 million mansion has on this Facebook thing? And they're going to go to their friends and they're going to be like, no.
Yeah. Who do you recommend? Yeah.
You're going to go and be like, jank marketing, 0 out of 10. Like, content is king. Content is king, above and beyond everything else.
And something actually I have to really take a lot of pride in, because Tyler and Kate are so good at storytelling. And so that's critical because, if you walk into a $1.5 million house and you see it, it's beautiful. It's like HGTV all over again. However, you don't know that the wall behind the backsplash is lava rock and there's a 12-person shower, with all these heads on it. I mean, those are the details that you really need to focus on. And when you work with a team like ours to handle your marketing, especially for your listings, which we rock at, you really need a good storyteller, but you also need a good mix of somebody who can kind of do the video editing, the piecing of it, professionalizing it, posting it, and maximizing it. So no matter who you work with, just make sure that they have a little bit of everything in that process to ensure that you get what you need and it's worth your time and money.
And it's always a system. You're always going to be developing new skills, new everything. So no, it's best not to stagnate ever.
So we're almost done with this last little section, but Zillow and Realtor.com is huge. Obviously, keep doing that. Everybody and their mother's brother on those sites. However, there is a lot of pivot that has changed into pushing more of your business to Google and having your own personal website. I'm kind of shocked sometimes when I talk to agents and they don't have their own website. Even if you're a team or an agent on a team, sometimes your team leader might be willing for you to go get your own website and cross-brand it. But everything you can do, it's about you and your business and your lead generation. And websites, you can get them for free nowadays, really. So if you don't want all the bells and whistles, you just want somewhere to send people to so you can collect that lead data, do something simple, or go out and spend a couple $100s a month on a bigger system like Brivity or Boomtown or a site like that. It's up to you, but the options are out there. You just need to find them and you need to take the steps to get it done, because having your personal website, that's back to that foundational thing. I would never start pushing any kind of marketing campaign until you have a website. We need somewhere to send that traffic to. And then if you think about it, you're running an ad campaign. They have no idea who Deborah Brownell is with this real estate company. They click on my ad, they go to my website. If it's just a landing page, there's nothing else with it to kind of move around and learn who I am and what my focus is and what I've done. You're kind of missing some of the traffic. So having a decently full built out website with an About Me page, my listings, having information for buyers and for sellers, maybe a couple guides and resources to provide those people as well. That's the kind of information that needs to be on your website. Not every agent I even know has an IDX feed on their website. A lot of them just use it as an interface to collect and send responses and have people contact them through that interface, because let's be honest, people don't like to pick up the phone and talk to people anymore.
It's okay. It's okay to have a small website. You don't have to go spend too much money on a website. You can get a lot with just a little.
Yep, you really, really can. So if you have questions on websites, we'd be more than happy to talk to you a little bit more about that. Last but not least is lead spreadsheets. Gosh, this is one that really gets under my skin sometimes, because if you want to spend the money to hire people or hire someone in-house or have someone do your marketing for you, you got to have somewhere systematic where you can manage the lead data. And if your marketing isn't bringing in exposure or engagement or leads for you, there's something wrong. And so having a lead spreadsheet nowadays just isn't cutting it. So you need to go seek out a CRM system. Coming Soon Homes even has a back end. It's very simple. So if you have never worked with a CRM before, you're not sure where to start, even our little back end might be helpful for you. But there's lots of other CRMs out there like Brivity and Boomtown that when leads come in, you can set up auto drip campaigns and track where you are in the process of talking to them. And if you're talking to 30, 50, 100 buyers or sellers a day, you're going to forget who you just talked to and what you just talked to them about. You need somewhere to track all of that data. And then also from a marketing perspective, we love it when we meet with clients and we got everything set up for them and we can actually see the immediate number of how many leads generated for this campaign, how many leads generated for that campaign. But shockingly, a lot of agents are not set up that way. And so if you have questions on that, we'd love to hook you up with a couple CRMs that we know our agent clients love. So if you're looking for a new CRM, let me know. Now, who handles marketing for agents in today's world? I think that that's a pretty basic question, but there's typically about 4 options for that, right? The agent might be doing it all on their own. They're that mighty one ship. They're chugging it all by themselves. Maybe they have an assistant or a coordinator that assists with some of that marketing for them. Maybe they've done even better and they've gone out and hired an in-house specialist to handle that marketing, which is awesome. Or you've worked with a third party. There's really kind of 4 options if you're interested in kind of upscaling your marketing, whether you want to do it or somebody else. But a 5th option that I just want to put out there real quick is have a professional in your corner with all of your marketing needs. That's really what my team here at Coming Soon Homes is doing. We've recently released a new program where it's really exciting because during COVID-19 and everything else, we want to make sure we can keep people employed. We want to make sure that agents are still rocking with their business. I think now more than ever, your business should be online, capturing all these eyeballs that are across all these different channels. I mean, if you're not pushing out awesome content right now, you need to be. So just to give you a quick overview, I think a lot of people have questions like, what would it look like? How expensive would it actually be for me to pay someone in-house? And honestly, keep this in mind because this is depending on your market and how much people get paid there. So this is just a very basic outline of what you would need if you wanted to pay someone in-house to do your marketing. So let's just say you pay them a $35,000 a year salary, right? You're going to need some kind of social media scheduling tool to help schedule all the content and collateral that you've built. Typically, that tool is about $50 a month, which rolls into $600 a year. You need some kind of graphic design tool, which is about $30 a month, $360 a year. Definitely a video editing tool, which is about $59 a month, $780 a year. And that's for like a very basic video editing tool. So I kept all these pretty low. A good camera and tripod, which will probably cost you about $1,000, and a website and domain. So if you add all those things up, the minimum totals just over $41,000 a year. That's a lot of money. And this does not account for any of the ad spend or even a little ad spend that you can push to actually exposing it to more people. Organic is great. One of the best things I think I love about my team is that we have clients that don't have an ad spend with us. They just focus on the organic, and that's cool too. At least they're doing something. And we have niche and interesting ways to help push that organic exposure even more for you if you can't afford the ad spend on top of it. But this right here doesn't even include an ad spend. So that's a lot of money to really think about. And there's 3 main things if you do want to hire in-house that you need to consider. First, there's dogs, apologize. Finding the right fit to hire in-house can be really costly and time consuming. I actually just talked to a broker yesterday. He said, Deborah, I have gone through 4 different marketing people in the past year. He's like, I've never been able to get could you imagine recruiting, onboarding, training, paying, and then firing, and then doing it all over again 4 more times, 3 more times. I mean, within a year period, that's ridiculous. Imagine the money and time and effort that was put into doing that. And so it's really critical. Don't rush into hiring someone. You need to find the right person to handle your marketing, whether it's us or someone you find. We might not even be the right fit for every agent, and I'm totally fine with that. But you really need to consider, how much time it really realistically will take to hire someone. Second thing is hire based on experience. So many times I've talked to agents and they're like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Her personality is awesome. She's so much fun. But then it comes into hiring and day one, they're like, okay, I don't know how to make a video, or they're posting hashtags on Facebook when that's like, to a marketer, when I see someone posting hashtags on Facebook, it's like the face slap emoji, like it's this one, because there's certain channels that you do things on. And so you need to make sure that whoever you do hire in-house, they have they're well-rounded, right? They need to have experience with graphic design, some video editing and creation. They need to have some social media. They got to have some email marketing. And of course, they got to be able to do some writing. Amen, Brandy. It's true. They have to be well-rounded to be able to handle what you need. And one of the best things I think about our team is that I got a team. So if someone is a little bit better at something than the other, guess what? My whole team's going to get together and we're going to figure it out and get it done. And that's the best thing about hiring people that are better than me in certain things, because when we get our heads together and we brainstorm an idea, it's incredible some of the stuff that we've been able to come up with. It's silly. I just got goosebumps thinking about it, but I love my team. My team's amazing. They're behind all of our clients. I know some of them, some of our agent clients will hit them up on the weekends and in the early mornings, and they're there, man. I mean, and you will not get that level of service anywhere, sometimes even in-house, believe it or not. Last but not least, though, is tools, tools, and more tools. One of the things you need to really...
I'm going to interrupt. You would not believe. I get a message at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. I'll just be sitting at my desk working, and Deborah will be like, "You're not going to believe this tool I just spent 100 hours with. Look at all the content. Boom, 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 boom." And I'm just like, I'll check it out.
I'll get to this later tonight.
Tool. And then the next day, this just happened this week. I went, "Deb, I'm doing this for all my clients. Look at this one."
I'm telling you, I mean, and all these tools, these new tools are popping up, you know, time and time and time again. Oops, looks like Tyler froze. We'll give him a sec to come back. But getting new tools is so critical. You know, some of your tools now that you might be using, you want a different look to, you know, and so that's something you always have to consider if you do hire someone in-house. It is going to mean that you need to invest some money into getting new tools and consistently keeping those tools updated as well. New video tools, new graphic design tools are popping in all over the place every single week. And so having a team like ours is awesome because in the meantime, you're out and buying and selling and listing homes. My team here is researching changes on social media, on Instagram, things that we need to change for you that you really should not have to worry about. You shouldn't have to worry about the Facebook and, you know, and Instagram algorithm and how to change your process. We're going to help you through that. And so having a team that's always on top of things. Tyler makes fun of me because of my tool addiction, but you know, I love it. I love being able to give something fresh to our customers and being like, check this out. We're the first to be able to do this for you, you know? And so just know that one of our biggest things when we partner with agents is we want you to be able to focus on what you do best. Selling and buying real estate. Let us focus on the marketing. We're going to collaborate with you in tandem, build everything out, get it approved by you, and then scale it across all your channels. You know, so it's really that. Go ahead.
Alternatively, I was going to say, I have a client who we brought on who literally goes, "I don't know anything about this. You do everything." And I just make it, and he or she is just like, "Perfect, put it out. I don't care."
Yep. I mean, and that's the thing. Some agents want to be super immersed and involved in the process. We have lots of clients like that. And then we have the polar end of the other spectrum. They're like, "Nope, get it out, get it done. I just want stuff rolling. That's cool, do it." You know, and so it really just depends on what you're looking for, what your focus, what your niche is. You should see every so often in the chat a little link with Kate's posting for me to book a strategy call. We're almost done here, but if you just want to go ahead and jump in, go ahead and click that link and book a strategy call with me personally. I'm going to get on the phone with you. I want to talk through what your goals are. I want to talk through where you feel like your weak spots are in your marketing. And even if, you know, you decide that this isn't the right fit for you, at least it's worth a conversation because again, right now is the best time for your business to be focused upfront online. So
and Deborah is really fun to talk to if you just want to call her. Like, you go ahead.
Or book a strategy call just to chat. That's okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. But I think one of the things too is on these strategy calls, if anything, you're going to walk away with helpful, valuable information that at least you could implement in your business, whether or not you use my team. So make sure to tap that link in the chat somewhere to book a strategy call with me within your availability. It pops up a little thing and you let us know what options you want. Now, how expensive though would it be to hire us instead? Because we do have the tools, we do have the experience. I am constantly working with my team to upgrade our networks and everything that we're doing. But it really depends on how much or how little marketing help you need. So many advertising agencies will charge you a one set fee for so many things. I've heard a couple of the video things out there. They're going to charge you just $1,500 off the head. And guess what? If you don't respond back on the videos that they're rolling out, they're not going to post them. So now you're paying for stuff that you're not even getting rolled out because you're busy, you know? And so just consider this. All of our pricing is based and completely customized and geared towards what you want and need. We're rolling out a whole bunch of new services actually starting today. So we're stoked to tell you about those. But just for an example, if you pay us $1,500 a month, that's $18,000 a year. Compared to our last slide, you're saving over $23,000 by outsourcing versus in-housing. However, you need to make sure you outsource to the right team, the right company, the right people that you're going to be personally working with to ensure that you get what you need out. So there's two options with us. Thank you, Mike, for your question. We're digging into that here. I'll make sure to chat with you. We actually don't do it by hour, believe it or not. We do it on 2 different ways. We can do project fee based. So you're like, Deborah, I need a new listing presentation. We're going to talk with you, figure out how much time it's going to take. Then we're going to charge you one set fee for that. Or Deborah, I need a COVID-19 video that I can send out on my social media. Great. It's going to be this set cost, one-time build. That's it. So if you're one of those agents and you have a list of things that you need to do for your marketing, send us your freaking list. Let us go down and start hashing those out. If you can only afford 2 projects done a month, no problem. We'll specifically do what you need.
Can I tell myself here?
Yeah.
So I'm very high tech. I've been trying to do this all digitally, but I just want to show you. I have the physical proof right here of what I do in a week as far as this list of things to do. You ready? This was last week. That was last week for me. Like when she says we make a list, I physically make a list. Each of these papers in one day for one client. Yep. And there's more over here, but it's too embarrassing to get all of them. So I'm going to leave you with that. But like we really do take things seriously. Like I have it on my notebook, write down what I'm going to do. When it's done, rip it off. There it goes.
It's true. It's true. I mean, we really, I think something that my team is really good at is customer service. We're really good at the end product result. And then also, I think we're just really good at having that back and forth. So many of our clients have ideas that come up, and we're there for you. We are an extension of your business. We're just not some third little party company that, we send out pre-built content to all of our clients. Everything we make for you is customized. Your logos, your colors, your branding, your face, your pictures, if you want it. We really dive deep into it. So project fee-based is simple. If you just want to test us out, throw us a couple projects, see what we do for you. Another thing we do also is a monthly subscription. So especially for teams or larger independent agents, if you're like, I need all hands on deck, I need you to rebuild my whole foundation, then I need a ship on top, then I need an ocean, then I need fish. We're going to do all of that for you, but it's easier because we'll just we'll iron out everything that you need done for yourself every week, every month. Then we're going to figure out a monthly subscription cost. It's a one-time billing fee every month. It's like a subscription. So it makes it very easy if you're more of an agent that needs more of that on-demand assistance. We have numerous teams and agents that we currently have on that monthly subscription. I think they love it really because they can have constant access pretty much to these specialists like Tyler. If they have an idea, they're on it, and you can constantly bounce back and forth. I know, Tyler, you probably virtual chat with your clients like once a week, probably sometimes, right?
Usually way more than that. Especially, I have one client, in New Jersey who one of their relatives lives here in North Carolina. And just to show you the kind of relationship I have with him, I sent her a picture of a fish sandwich from one of her favorite restaurants, just texted it to her. And it made her day. Like that's the kind of relationship that we have. And it's awesome because we'll really get to know each other throughout this whole process. Because we can't make good content if we can't, get that information from you. My other client who is just like, make whatever, everything, I still have a great personal relationship with him and I send him dumb pictures of stuff all the time. It's a different type of relationship, but it really is about building that personal connection, seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like. Because straight up, I've made things where people are just like, nah, I don't like it. And I'm like, that's fine. And I'll change things and they're like, perfect. That is the whole point of it. Some companies, and they go, here's the thing, and you don't like it, well then don't post it. We're like, let me make it perfect for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
All about that relationship.
And we really figure out, your design aesthetic. So if you were to come on board with us, we're going to have a virtual meeting with you and we're going to talk through, okay, what's your logos? What's your colors? If you don't have those, we'll help you make those. We need to set the foundation again for your branding, for your messaging. Do you want to drive people to call you, text you? Do you want to drive people to your website? Do you want to build a landing page and drive that traffic to you? There's so many options. So that's why I'm not coming out of the gate and saying $199 a month, because that's not what it is at all. Everything we build out for you is customized according to your needs and your market and your budget. So even if you only have a little bit to spend a month, chat with me about it. I can guarantee you we can probably figure something out, even if it's project fee based, to help you start cranking and updating your stuff. We had a client a couple of days ago that reached out. They're interested in a new listing presentation, a new buyer presentation, because right now they want to come out of the gate after this COVID-19 stuff looking like a rock star, have all this fresh, innovative stuff, especially because of all the virtual pivots. A lot of agents are doing virtual meetings now. So you need to have that in your marketing collateral to ensure that you're showcasing that. So real quick, here's some of the options that we have for you: social media management, email marketing, flyer, brochure, and infographic design, Facebook marketplace management. So if you want help putting your listings on Facebook marketplace and help managing all those responses and inboxes and stuff, we can help you do that. If you need updated social media headers for your Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter pages, we can help you do that. If you need a listing presentation, a buyer presentation, if you're giving a pitch to other local agents for recruiting, we can make that presentation. Videos, webinars. We have this amazing webinar tool now. So if you're an agent and you're like, I have something that I want to talk about, or maybe you want to do a collaboration between you and your lender or another vendor and jump on a webinar and talk about what's going on, guess what? We can help you build the webinar, promote the webinar, manage the webinar, and get you really good end results. So we'll do webinar management for you. If you want to start a podcast, we can do that, a YouTube series, Facebook ad, LinkedIn ads, all those TV apps and streaming ads we talked about, blogging, logo and branding design, and landing page creation. And that's just kind of the bullet list, really, about certain things that we can do. But real quick, a couple of our favorite projects. We love doing presentations, love social media content, anything niche and special series we love doing, because it really enables our team to get really hyper creative, focus on you and what the whole messaging needs to be. We love doing listing flyers and walkthrough tour videos, market update videos, LinkedIn articles, social media page headers. I mean, you go on and on and on. But real quick, before we let you go, I just want you to check out, actually, I'm going to skip a couple things on here, but I want to show you actually something I'm so proud that Tyler did. This is a market update actually from one of our clients, Maria Hoffman out of Tampa, Florida, that she just rolled out. She was like, she needed to get on video, right? Can you tell us a little bit about this real quick?
Yeah, so once all of this COVID-19 stuff started, Maria was one of my first clients to be like, we need to get the message out there. We need to let people know kind of the whole deal of how to buy a house right now. And she does these usually about once a week. She'll message me and be like, all right, let's put this on YouTube. Let's put it everywhere. Let's get this message out there. She's been really, really great about it. And this is the most recent of her market update videos.
Let's check it out. Give me just a second. Let's play this bad boy.
Hi friends, just how has the COVID-19 situation affected Tampa Bay real estate to date? Well, the real numbers may surprise you. Welcome back to Tampa Home Group TV. Maria Hoffman here. First, as always, thanks to all of you who are doing work with paid and volunteer to keep our community going strong. Our local real estate market and our vendors have done a tremendous job adapting to the new normal, and we're keeping people safe and still helping folks buy and sell homes. I wanted to share with you real numbers from the last 7 days right here in our Tampa Bay area.
So I wanted to cut it off real quick because we're actually a little bit over time, but that is an example of quick videos that we can do just to get a quick message out about COVID-19, about you hiring a new agent, about the market status and update, about what's going on in the mortgage industry, anything like that. We can create that very, very easily for you and work in tandem with you to do that. And then last but not least, I wanted to show you one of my favorite video listing walkthroughs that Tyler actually did for Maria out of Tampa. Love this video. Check it out real quick, and then we'll set everything up to close.
Hi friends, Maria Hoffman here. Welcome back to Tampa Home Group TV. Here today to give you a tour of one of my favorite listings, a beautiful home here at 2504 Mexican Sun in the Sanctuary on Livingston. It's a fantastic gated luxury community here in Lutz, Florida. This beautiful property has 6 bedrooms, 4 full baths, 2 half baths. It has an office, a wine cellar, and it's on over an acre. So come on in and let's take a look. This stunning luxury home has everything you need. 6 bedrooms, 4 full baths, 2 half baths, a beautifully appointed office, a wine cellar, and a media room. There are 2 master suites, 1 downstairs and 1 up, and an amazing outdoor area with an outdoor kitchen and a beautiful pool and spa. So have a look.
So again, another awesome video. I mean, and actually, Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, Maria actually shot all of her own footage, right?
Yes. So she went to the house. It was vacant. She went to the house, had someone shoot all the footage with her, and all the footage was sent to me, and everything from that point on I did.
That's awesome. So it's that easy. I mean, if you want to do walkthrough video tours or a market update or just talk about something that's relative to your audience, all you got to do is jump on a phone. You can get a little tripod, record your own footage. We're going to show you how to get that footage to us quick and easy. We handle all the editing. You don't have to worry if you say 100 gajillion times on it, or you stop in the middle of it and look at a bird that's flying by. We can edit all of that. And I think it makes people a lot more confident in their videos because we can cut all the crud out that you're uncomfortable with, which is the best part. And obviously, like, that music was like amazing too at the same time.
I was having a rave.
So we really try to make it fun. So if you want to do content like that, we want to partner with you. Let me jump back real quick to where we were at. Let me see if this works. There we go. It's amazing when stuff works the right way. Real quick, I want you guys to just be aware of our next 2 webinars. We are having a phenomenal marketing masterclass. Got to give Kate props to the topic because we are going to show you so many winning content ideas for real estate agents. We are scoping so many top agents from across the US and Canada. We're going to be pulling together some of the coolest content ideas we've found and show those and expose those to you to give you fresh new ideas for content. So make sure to stay tuned. Follow us on the Coming Soon Homes Facebook page and make sure you register for that marketing masterclass on May 7th. Last but not least is our next Tech Talk. It's our 5th Tech Talk. So proud of this. Tyler actually is going to be featuring and talking about top tools agents will need to master video. So if you need to know how to really make your video collateral work, if you're maybe interested in partnering with us and want to do more video, this is going to be a webinar you're going to want to be on because Tyler's going to share all of his tips and tricks and tools on how to really make sure that your video footage is the best.
Not all of them. Not all of them. But I'll be hosting that one, so you've been warned.
It's gonna be fun, but just make sure to
whoever
register.
was earlier that called me an infant, I want to see you at that one because it's going to be fun.
Just you wait. So if any of you are interested in pricing, talk strategy, you just want to even talk to me about where your weak points are, see if you can even afford any kind of assistance like this, I really would just be honored to have a 10 to 15 minute call with you. It's no obligation. I just want to jot on the phone with you, talk about your goals, where you're at, what you're missing, what you're rocking at, and really see if my team and I can help deploy an amazing marketing strategy for you this year, even if it's just project stuff or if it's full-time social media management or that monthly subscription option. So we have options to fit every agent, every budget. Actually, I'm going to jump back to my poll real quick because it looks like we had I think a pretty hefty amount of teams on here and independent agents as well. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed today. Feel free. Everyone will be getting the replay after the fact. So if you registered for the live event, you will get the replay within 24 hours. And honestly, if you enjoyed today, even got some kind of burst of knowledge off of it, we would love the opportunity for you to share that with any of your agent friends or family members that might be in real estate, because the more we can spread the word about how critical marketing is for your business, the bigger every agent is going to get. But you need to do it in the right way, and you need to make sure that you have the right team behind you to roll that out for you. Anything else, Tyler?
Do we have any questions from anyone in the chat? We'll give it until, what do you want to do, like 3:15? Give about 2 minutes?
Yeah, let's give people 2 to 3 minutes to type questions. Does anybody have questions for us? Go ahead and chat in the chat.
You're welcome, Connie.
Of course, Connie. Thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure having you and chatting with us. I hope, if anything, you got value out of this. Again, this is not, to push you to work with us. We would just love the opportunity to show you what we could do for you. I'm a big believer in proving, the proof is in the pudding. I talk to so many agents. They're like, oh, I've talked to so many other advertising firms that have pitched me the same or similar thing. But I can guarantee you, you will not get the level of service and attention that my team will give you within our program. So any other questions about marketing, about how things have changed over the years, about your own marketing that you might be doing, anything else that you guys have questions on that we want to answer before we let you go?
The new territory. Oh yeah. That was going back to when we were talking about putting ads on Hulu and Spotify and everything. That's a really, really good way to target, because that's one thing that you still can do, location targeting.
Yep.
So like you want to move into a new territory, but like even like before you start taking listings there, put your name.
You really should do. If you're not fully immersed in that new market yet, I really think that we could do a killer kind of pre-marketing campaign in that territory, saying, guess what? This amazing agent or team, however your business is built, is now going to be infiltrating this new market. I mean, you could do some really cool coming soon collateral posts, I think, promoting your new real estate business there that will jog a lot of waves online, in my opinion. So if you are interested in that, definitely let us know. We'd love to touch base with you. If anybody is interested in chatting with me again, just make sure you hit the strategy call link that Kate is popping in there. I'd love just to have a quick session with you, talk about what we're doing. Let's give them 2 more minutes for questions. In the meantime, I'm just going to let you guys check out a little bit more of our content real quick. All righty, everybody. Well, it looks like we are done with questions. I hope everybody enjoyed today's session. Again, please make sure if you're joining us in the replay, hit #replay and let us know that you're joining after the live session. And again, if you got anything out of today, we would really be honored for you to share this with any agents that you know. And we'd love the opportunity to show you what my team might be able to do for you and your marketing in 2020. So make sure to tap that strategy call link in the chat. Or you can send me an email actually directly to Deborah, the long way, DEBORAH @comingsoonhomes.com. So email me, hit the strategy link. I would love to learn more about you and your business and your goals for 2020. And again, thank you so much for tuning in to today's webinar and hope to see you on our next one in a few weeks here. Have a great one, guys. Take it easy.
See you later. Thank you.
Bye-bye.